So, in this video, it's going to be more assembling. I'm hoping to do a lot of things. I have no major direction. Some of the things I know I want to do. I want to fix the gas tank. It has a small puncture in it. I'm going to sand the area, JB weld, fun. After that, probably replace the line, get it, or take off the old line on it, and then install it. But with that, hopefully do things like brake lights, maybe my headlights will get in the next day or two, get the sunroof and all this other stuff installed. So yeah, there's a lot of odds and ends. Let's get to it. So simple enough. There's a hole there. Wiped everything down with wax and tar remover, sanded, put a little glob on. Same thing here, because it turned out there were a couple little spots that I hadn't even noticed. All I ever noticed was this one. Then saw a gouge here. It didn't appear to be punctured, so I just put a small little thin layer over it. So yeah, that's all that is. Time to let it cure and then work on the next thing. And then paint it after. Next up, taillights. So, small update. They completely destroyed that opening. So, I'm probably going to just have to get a new one of these. With that, this thing, let's just set that down. It has nothing here. No contactor for the bulb. No spade. That would explain why they soldered a wire onto the bulb. They look like crap, but whatever. So, here's at least what one looks like. So, not too shabby. I like it. But I'm going to have to deal with that shit. Hooray. So, I was about to start working on the turn signals. I think that's what they are. Anyway, both of the bulb holders, one of them had a 2-filament bulb crammed in there and is looking kind of rough anyway. And then the other one has a bulb in it. Well, I removed the glass, but the socket won't come out. So I need to get the new bulb holders. I've already bought lenses. I've got proper shaped metal pieces over it. Now I've got to buy the base, so it would have been smarter just to buy the whole fucking thing. Anyway, so I guess I'll work on putting the doors together. Next day, or a couple days later, got some parts, so let's see if we can start making it look more like a car again. Let's go. Well, this camera's battery sucks, so I'm going to cut to having the doors done. Small update. The doors are reinstalled. Not as well as someone who's doing a proper restore. I don't know much about beetles, so when I was doing this, I just sat there, painted this, everything. Didn't even acknowledge the fact that, wait, there's a divot here, but nothing there. So both the frames are hosed. I mean, they don't have the lock, so the people I'm doing this for will either have to replace this later, or maybe they'll go the Cali look and go one big window. I don't know. But anyway, TLDR for how to do it. Do the outer scraper first. Let's focus there, yeah. Once you get it clipped in, where you removed the bolts before, use like a screwdriver or a punch along the, along the sides and the top here. You know, just a couple of them, get it secured in there. You can use a screwdriver, it's aluminum, so just kind of punch through it, you'll be fine. Then do the inner scraper. You want to keep the metal from your old one. This is said in other videos, and I can attest. When you buy new ones, the metal that comes with it, it's not going in. Not easily. It caused way too much frustration. So do that second. Then start putting this in. You know, get the hole lined up for the pivot right there. Get it installed up to somewhere here. Then install the side mirror or the window vent. You know, put in the hole, screw it in up there, then start putting the rubber seal in even more, just not all the way. Then after that, put this in, just do the top 2 screws, leave the bottom 2 just undone. So you get this in. Once you get this in, also make sure to loosely put these in place. That's the bracket that holds the post that goes through here. Then after that, I ran the felt channel all the way up. When you put this in, make sure, when you put the divider in, make sure put the rubber and the felt in place. Anyway, so I then put the felt channel in. Learned from another video, don't push this up all the way because then you'll just have an opening there. Then after that, the window was kind of a huge pain in the ass for me. And then today when I came back to it, it seemed a little better. The reason you leave the bolts out here so that allows you to push this divider away. So then I rested the window here, like kind of got it in there a little bit, then lifted this side up a little bit so I could push this divider over and eventually get it in the grooves of the new felt channel. I can attest that when you're putting new felt in there, yeah, the window's not going to go up very well. But it will go up, finagle it, fight it. Then what you'll need to do with the felt channel up here, you're going to need to glue it, then roll the window up, and let it sit for however long. So anyway, other small update. Can't remember if I recorded it or not. Got both taillights in. And with that, I got the turn signals. So I bought cheap ones that you seem to be able to find online and crap like that. And they're just, I don't like them. Plastic top and shit like that. The reason why I had to is like, this is broken. This was the original metal holder for the turn signal bulb. You can't really tell from this, but yeah, the bottom half of the bulb is stuck in there. It's not coming out. The other one I had had a similar issue. The bulb just wasn't coming out, period. So I bought those cheap turn signals, took the bulb holder out, then you can kind of see it in there, installed it there, used the original metal and a newer plastic piece that goes with it. Well, take my word for it. There's a positive and negative wire running to the inside. I'm going to use the new wires from my harness to connect up to the red, and then there's a ground around here that I'm just going to run the turn signal grounds to, because there's a ground for the headlights. But anyway, this is where we're at now, so I'm going to continue on knocking out all the little stuff that would be probably boring as hell to see, because yeah. Anyway, moving on. So, additional update. Got the dash assembled. I need to go get a light for the back of the fuel gauge because it doesn't appear to use the same socket, plug, outlet, whatever. That's installed. I think I have it all wired up. I mean, it looks like shit right now, but I think I have it right. Yeah. Ran an additional ground off the headlight so it can go over to the running lights or whatever they're called. Yeah, about to be the moment of truth, so let's put this on a pod, hook up the battery, and see what breaks. So, that will wrap up this video. I could keep going. There's still a lot of odds and ends, but it's a lot of boring ass shit. So, what I have found out, so I had a wiring problem earlier when I tried to start it. I made first mistake of, oh hey, there's a spark when I hook up the battery. Let me hook it up anyway. That was stupid. Turns out I didn't put the voltage regulator on. I'm not used to cars having those. I know they exist, I just didn't think about it. I'm used to alternators internally regulated. Like on my Corolla, I replaced the alternator with an external regulator with a Saturn alternator that had an internal regulator. I prefer things simple, but I also prefer simple looking. So anyway, got the voltage regulator fixed or installed. This used to be a 6-volt car. Someone changed it at some point, did some sketchy wiring, you know, all the fun stuff. So where we're at, you saw headlights and the running lights mostly work. For some odd reason, this one, the left side, is not turning on, but if I turn the car on and use the right turn signal, it works. Why the fuck that works, but the running light side of it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, considering it's a single filament bulb. But anyway, so yeah, what I have to work on is fix that. my brake lights and rear lights in general, the brake lights and running lights for the rear, don't work. The turn signal on the driver's side works. Turn signal on the passenger side, the front works, but it's slow. The rear doesn't work, so I probably have a ground or something issue. So I'm going to go through, fly through all the little bitch work, because it doesn't really give for good video making like most of what I record, but at least I can recognize that one. So yeah, that's everything for right now. Next video should be final assembly of everything. So till then, if you found it useful or even remotely decent, thumbs up. Thank you. Bye-bye.